It is Monday, so you know what that means. We got some Monday Night Raw to talk about and a lot of news to discuss, especially for WrestleMania as there's multiple confirmations. So you guys know what to do. Claymore kick that like button and let's dive right into it. First off, we got some big update in regards to the WrestleMania match card. This week's Monday Night Raw kicked off with the announcement about the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania, which was heavily emphasized as being the main event of the show, meaning that it will probably close out one of the shows. Drew McIntyre will get his rematch against WWE Champion Bobby Lashley at the event, and all of this is a bit interesting because Drew McIntyre is also feuding with Sheamus, and Sheamus is now also going after the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley, as we saw this past Monday night. So there's definitely a lot happening involving the WWE Championship, which is great. But that wasn't the only match added to WrestleMania, because WWE added one that came out of nowhere. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods ended up winning the Raw Tag Team Championship from the Hurt Business, this being the 11th tag team title reign for the New Day. And after the match was when a new challenge was made. AJ Styles and Omos walked out to the ring, and Styles said that he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, so him alongside his body are going to be challenging for those titles. The New Day goes on and accept the match, and there it is. All of a sudden it looks like we just forgot about Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. They're not even in the WrestleMania conversation anymore. It's almost like WWE just came out of nowhere with this idea, obviously a late decision, and just made it happen. Not really a surprise though, because this whole WrestleMania booking has been all over the place anyways. Talking about WrestleMania, if you guys were looking to buy some tickets for the event, as WWE announced last week, that was supposed to be going down this week's Tuesday, but now we ended up learning that they delayed all of that and will be giving us a new on sale date within the next week. There was no specifics given, but PW Insider did noted that WWE is dealing with a lot of different elements in regards to that weekend, so it doesn't seem to be much of a shocker that they ended up pushing back the ticket sale a few days until they finalize everything. Talking about issues, one of the big things that they're dealing with right now is another NXT outbreak, as several WWE stars ended up testing positive. Now that outbreak is in regards to NXT, but it looks like the main roster could be into a bit of trouble, and reports indicate that Vince McMahon is upset with wrestlers over their lack of precautions during these times. In the latest reports of Fightful Select, it's indicating that the WWE chairman Vince McMahon has gotten particular about wrestlers' safety again, as there was an incident of a wrestler or staff member at Disney Unmasked weeks back that set Vince McMahon off because he had previously made it clear that he wanted wrestlers taking more precautions. Per the report, Vince McMahon has sent several messages either directly or indirectly to wrestlers as a result of all of this. He's also not too happy about certain wrestlers being shown unmasked attending Super Bowl parties over the last month. Ironically enough, this is obviously a good thing for Vince McMahon to be pissed off about it, because all wrestlers should be taking this serious, not just some. And if some aren't, then at the end of the day, WrestleMania is going to be affected, because that show is going to have a match card with a lot of superstars in it. So more possibilities of things getting changed last minute and getting screwed up. Switching it up to what went down on this week's Monday Night Raw, the March 15, 2021 episode, as we are headed into Fastlane this weekend. As we discussed, the night started off with the WWE Championship segment of Bobby Lashley coming out, Drew McIntyre interrupting him, and their match getting announced for WrestleMania. In this, we also had the involvement of Miz, because you know the Miz want to get himself inserted and all of that. In the end, we get Bobby Lashley attacking Drew McIntyre. He then starts walking to the back, and by the stage, he gets attacked by Sheamus, and that sets up the main event for the night. But also the next match, as we got Drew McIntyre defeating The Miz in one-on-one competition. We then get Braun Strowman in the ring. He is demanding for Shane McMahon to come out. So once again, we get a bit of a ridiculous promo with Shane McMahon just making fun of Braun Strowman and obviously calling him stupid. All of this leads to Braun Strowman challenging Shane to a match tonight. We had a segment in the backstage with R-Truth. He is celebrating Stone Cold 316 Day, all of which leads to him interacting with Bad Bunny, giving Bad Bunny some Stone Cold Steve Austin merchandise and even the Stone Cold Steve Austin Championship, which leads to Bad Bunny saying that he enjoys being WWE 24/7 champion and that it is a dream come true for him that he got to hold that title, but he does believe that R-Truth deserves it more, so he hands over the 24/7 title to him in exchange for the custom Stone Cold Steve Austin title. It's clear that WWE didn't want Bad Bunny to take a pinfall and lose the title, and I really wish that they protected their actual other champions like this a bit more. We get Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke defeating Naomi and Lana, so I guess they're the new #1 contenders now. In this match, we also got the return of Asuka as she came out and attacked Shayna Baszler, setting up a match for later on in the night. And we get the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Hurt Business taking on the New Day, and the New Day picks up the victory, becoming the brand new tag team champions. I'm not too sure why this match didn't happen at Fastlane if we were gonna get a title change. I'm excited for the New Days, but I'm also hoping that WWE doesn't forget about Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. We had Damian Priest with Bad Bunny defeating Jackson Ryker with Elias. The big thing that happened was after this match, as John Morrison distracted Damian Priest and Bad Bunny while they were celebrating, and from the back came The Miz, hitting Bad Bunny with a guitar from the back. And this is obviously headed into a WrestleMania match, which we already heard multiple times. And up next is Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman, and I don't think this match even got started. The bell never really rang, but they did brawl it out. Shane McMahon got the best of Braun Strowman, laid him down in that announce table, and then of course went for the elbow drop. He then ended up covering Braun Strowman with slime. So this storyline is really hitting up, right? Surprisingly enough, WWE went on to announce Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman at Fastlane this Sunday. For Fastlane, we also had Alexa Bliss challenging Randy Orton to, I guess, a one-on-one match, so the Fiend is definitely returning. We get Asuka defeating Shayna Baszler in what was probably a 1-minute match. Great way to book Shayna Baszler, WWE. At least they made Asuka look a bit savage after the match as she continued the attack, removing the bottom turnbuckle pad and taking Shayna Baszler's mouth guard out, then jamming her into the metal. But the referee ended up stopping all of this. We get the United States Championship match with Matt Riddle retaining against Ali. So Retribution continues to lose as much as they can. We then go into the main event. It is Sheamus versus Bobby Lashley with Drew McIntyre sitting down by ringside as he didn't want to miss any of the action. Bobby Lashley goes on and pick up the victory in this match. After the match though, he tried to continue the attack on Sheamus. Drew McIntyre gets into the ring. Sheamus bumps into MVP, kind of giving Drew McIntyre the open to just go ahead and do a Claymore kick to Bobby Lashley. It all ends with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus staring down at each other inside the ring as they got a match coming up at the Fastlane pay-per-view. So that is everything that went down on this week's Monday Night Raw. A bit of questionable bookings as WWE tends to give us a lot of those, but at least finally they're building towards WrestleMania and trying to finalize that match card. It's almost like they remember that WrestleMania is coming up fairly quickly. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll catch you guys on the next one, so stay savage.